The year was 1965, and teenage pals Ray and Brian were rattling their parents' living rooms with the psychedelic sounds of the 60s. Over 40 years and 10 albums later, they had defined the sound of partying in Canada.
Here they come.
Please welcome the greatest rock and roll band in Canadian history, Trooper.
A young Ra McGuire and Brian Smith began their music career together as Winter's Green, eventually renaming as Applejack and becoming a major player in the Vancouver bar scene, touring their high-octane live show up and down British Columbia.
We were a cover band, so we had really large repertoire.
But at the same time, we were inserting some of our originals as bands do, right?
Some of those originals would eventually change their lives. They were at the top of their game as performers, but had hit the sweaty ceiling of the West Coast bar scene.
We made a decision, and it was The Bitch Is Back by Elton John. And we said, this is the last cover song we're gonna learn.
Enter Randy Bachman of the Guess Who. Bachman signed them to his record label and produced their first album under a new name, Trooper.
Slowly but surely, the airplay started.
Hand Grenade became a #1 song.
Good old General Hand Grenade.
And the hits would keep on coming. They released 4 albums in their first 4 years as Trooper, going platinum 4 times over, behind hits like Two for the Show, We're Here for a Good Time, Not a Long Time, and their biggest U.S. hit, Raise a Little Hell.
Randy Bachman is in the control room and says, we need another song. Do you have any other songs? We wrote Raise a Little Hell and really, really early.
We were very young, still teenagers, I think.
We played it through once. He said, play it again. We played it a second time, and that's the track. That's the track that's on the
That's the
record.
one.
While putting out an album almost every year, Trooper were becoming known for blowing the roof off of arenas as they crisscrossed the country on tour.
We've been back and forth across Canada, I mean, literally hundreds, if not thousands of times. I mean, we played every community and city and town in the country.
Here they come.
Then the white-hot rock stars went supernova. In 1979, they put out the greatest hits album, Hot Shots.
We were like, A, our career isn't done, and B, are you sure there's enough hits?
Yeah, good point.
The record went platinum 6 times over. Now at the height of their powers, Trooper received a Juno nomination for Album of the Year in 1980 and won the Juno for Group of the Year.
Thank you. Winning that Juno was a big deal for us.
It was a big honor.
I always wondered what it felt like being up here, and I'll tell you, it feels great.
Trooper released 10 albums and sold millions of records that still fill the airwaves to this day. For their 35th anniversary, they hit the road again, continuing to break attendance records and playing some of their most iconically Canadian shows, like the 2010 Olympic gold medal ceremony.
We are extremely proud that our success has been uniquely Canadian. Everything good that's happened for us has happened in Canada, and we're so proud of that.
Trooper wrote pop rock anthems second to none and toured them endlessly, turning an impossibly giant country into one giant party, and earning themselves a place in the Canadian Music Hall of Fame.
The 2 really important things that don't often get mentioned enough is our wives, our families, the fans that have supported us through every version and variation of Trooper. It's insane, and it's so appreciated.